1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever, said that you love me, but that'll last for never. Cut to on days that feel like you and me. It's my laid up anniversary. Wow. Wow. You can just call me Gwen. Okay? Now, Giveon, the artist who wrote Heartbreak Anniversary, I know you're listening and I apologize. But today's episode is my laid off anniversary. Cue confetti. So I'm talking about this perhaps one last fated time, as this was a true pivot moment, a true turning point in my life to live the awesome life, which is what this podcast is all about. And so today I just want to reflect on this experience of being laid off and sharing 3 ways to really turn around that feeling of rejection when you get laid off. Now, you may have heard that saying, all rejection is for your protection. Really? When you get a message at 8 a.m. and that your boss wants to talk to you, it does not feel like you're being protected. It feels terrible. It literally feels like someone is breaking up with you. And at the company where I was laid off from a year ago, we were in I would say, long-term relationship for a millennial, 6 years, a little bit over 6 years. So we were in a relationship. And even though the writing may have been a bit on the wall, it still hurts when you are laid off. So I'm going to be having a little bit of fun with this episode. I feel like I have, quote, healed. She can have jokes. She can kind of be lighthearted about it. But if you have recently been laid off, you might be really, really in the weeds, really feeling it, really feeling sad, angry, afraid. So all I want you to know is that I hope you will one day come to the point where you're like me and you can reflect on it with clarity and just be so appreciative that it happened. One thing I want to say before I share my top 3 ways I really turned around this experience of being laid off is just talking about a little bit of the privilege that I have. And what I mean by this is that I worked for a successful tech company. A company that made a lot of money and also paid me well for many years. And when I was laid off, I received a very generous package to go on my way so I could breathe a little easier when I was laid off. I know, you might be listening to this and you get laid off and you get nothing. So just sharing that I had a bit of breathing room there. Now, I don't have a trust fund or an extremely wealthy boyfriend. I have a husband, but we are what you would call middle class. We are regular. We care when the mortgage rates go up. And I say, why didn't I lock in when I bought my house? So it's not like I'm on easy street, although I really have a lot of trust in life and I do kind of feel like I'm on easy street because I live within my means. But I just want to say that everyone has a different experience when you get laid off and it's different financial circumstances. So my hope for you is that you receive a windfall if you're currently struggling. Okay, so now I want to get into the top 3 ways that I've really turned it around after getting laid off. Now, the first one, this one I posted on LinkedIn and got very mixed results and very few friends, few people who were furious with me. So the first one is take 100% responsibility for your life. What I mean by this is really owning that I created the layoff for myself to happen. Going further on this is just really reflecting with clear eyes on I could have done some things differently to be employed today. When 2020 happened, my role evolved quite a bit and we're all trying to figure out, where you fit and if you're still making an impact. And a few years after 2020, the dust started to settle a bit. And I noticed that the work I was doing did not seem to resonate or make as big of an impact as it did at one point in time. And I also noticed that my lead at my job was saying, hey, do you want to, there's other opportunities within the company. Do you want to look around? And I did, because I could sense things were shifting, but ultimately I didn't go for the other opportunities that came up. They didn't really feel quite right. It didn't seem like the right job for me. So I could have tried to force it and get that job, but I didn't. So that's one way I didn't go for it, to stick with the company. Also, as a business owner myself, yes, businesses are a force for good. That's what they can do in the world, but they also want to make money. And I noticed that my role was not making the company money, or couldn't measure how it was making the company money. So it's real hard, I feel like, putting my business owner hat on, that keeping me around when I'm not making the company money. Ouch. So yes, that is number one, just taking responsibility for your life, just reflecting on ways that I contributed to being laid off, and not having the power. Oh, I was at the mercy of the company. Now, I'm not trying to convince you that you have to do this for yourself. You can't convince anyone of anything, I don't believe. But to me, it really helped me take my power back and say, oh, okay, I understand why this happened, and I can move forward and figure it out and be a stronger, better employee or business owner for whatever I do next. The second thing I did to really come back from that rejection is truly take a moment to recalibrate. Yes, the day after I was laid off, I received an email from my business where I was asked to be a course director for an amazing course. And I just thought, Gwen, how do you recalibrate when you instantly take on another job basically at the same level with the same, with the same kind of vibe? So I had to be that was a wake-up call. And it actually helped me realize, okay, we need to breathe. Okay. Just pause a little bit and recalibrate and say, what direction is the compass pointing? Where are we going? And are we going towards career? Are we going towards money or title? Are we going towards, what are we going towards? And I have to tell you, what I wanted to go towards was just happiness. I can hear cringes, happiness, because learning from especially one of my mentors, Sherry Salata, who was the executive producer of the Oprah Winfrey Network for 20 years and president of OWN. And she really was at the top of the career mountain. She had the money, the prestige, the connections, all the things that you would probably want out of a career. And she said once she got to that top, it wasn't it. And she just wished somebody would have told her that that's not it. What it is figuring out what lights you up and go towards that. Now, I think subconsciously I planted that seed in my head that I just wanted to enjoy life. I wanted to enjoy being alive. Yes, work. Yes, be a wonderful person, but I wanted to enjoy my life. After quite a while of just feeling not really enjoying life too much. And guess what happened, y'all? A few weeks after being laid off, I was pregnant. I got pregnant. And that really started to accelerate family life for me. And within that year, it was pregnancy, got married. I really started to become a completely different person. Like, I was not married or had a child last year at this time. And I have to say, allowing that to unfold, and then also working on my business at the same time, and really just keeping an eye out for interesting opportunities, and just going slower than I had since I was 17 and basically went to university, was a breath of fresh air. So recalibrate, try and figure out what do you want to go towards? Really take your time to figure out what is it. And the secret here is it's probably a feeling, because no matter what we want in life, we want it because of the feeling it will give us, or the safety, security, joy. So give yourself that grace to try to figure out what your compass is pointing towards. Number 3, how to get over or turn around the rejection. It's easy, my friends. Revenge. become happier and more successful than ever before, where your employer just says, why did I let this person go? I made a horrible error. I'm kind of kidding. Although if you want to help me with my revenge, please join my email list, sign up for my course, and if you see an opportunity, send it my way. Okay, but actually number 3 is appreciation for the opportunity. Isn't it interesting that once you're laid off, you kind of forget all the good times before? It's like if someone breaks up with you, they're a horrible monster. You forget you had beautiful times before that. So something I did was just, once the dust settled, I took a moment to say, what do I appreciate about this opportunity? And the list is actually massive, and it helps to take away that bitter taste of the way it ended. From the smart, talented, inspiring people I had the chance to work with, to get to work in my zone of genius, as they say, as an online course producer, working with experts, producing shoots, writing course curriculums, just a vibe, really creating great work for quite some time that I thought was really helpful and kept growing, a lot of growth and learning along the way. I worked at a company that encouraged me to start a business. And I actually I'd been making courses for many years on the side, and then really started a company and incorporated and really became a fully fledged business because I wanted to be the best. And I wanted to learn more, work with more people, have real life examples. And if you're working full time at a company that wants you to be world class and better every year, I couldn't do that just by doing the work at the company. I had to be outside, so I could almost come in a bit as a consultant who knows what she's talking about because she's doing it. Yes, I worked way too hard, but it worked out. So those are my 3. So just to recap, take 100% responsibility for your life, recalibrate and figure out what your new compass is going to be. Revenge? No, I'm kidding. And actually just appreciation, write down what you really appreciated about that role. So everyone, I would just say, if you're going through it right now, I feel for you. You're going to make it through. Something even more amazing is around the corner, something you might not even expect. I have a tiny baby who I absolutely love, and I would not have him had I not been laid off, I don't think. So just give yourself the opportunity to believe something amazing is around the corner, an opportunity that you couldn't even dream up. It's so perfect. And that's how I'm thinking too with how am I going to evolve in my work life? I don't exactly know, but it's going to be something better than I could have ever imagined. So it's really time, if you are laid off, to build the new life that you really want to live. So thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review or rate it. And if you would love to join my email list, I would love to have you. You wouldn't love to join. No one loves to join an email list, but hey, it's a little spark of inspiration in your inbox, and I recommend you sign up. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an absolutely awesome day.